Today is my deadline day. Russia has until tonight to agree to a ceasefire with the Ukraine, or America will be hitting 100% tariffs on any country still buying Russian oil. You buying Russian oil? You better not be. You better not. It's the 8th of August. Sorry about that. For those who don't like my Trump impression. Now, Trump said by the end of today, Russia has to agree to a ceasefire with Ukraine, and they have so far not, and it's not looking like they are going to. And now, other countries, including some Western European allies of America, are worried. Why? Well, first of all, Asian countries like the titan that is China and the giant that is India, they too are worried. So parts of Western Europe are worried, India's worried, China's worried. Why are they all worried? Because they could face massive punishment for something Russia is doing. It's like America promising to punch anyone in the face who talks to you. You're Russia, right? Using what is called secondary sanctions. So there basically is it's an isolation attempt. If you talk to this guy, I'm going to punch you, not the guy that I'm trying to bully. I'm going to punch you, and that's supposed to isolate the guy, which is Russia. Meaning, if you're buying, is my mic on? Yes. If you're buying Russian oil, Trump is threatening to tariff the buyer of Russian oil in the hope that the threat will make you, the buyer of the oil, stop buying, thereby isolating Russia. That's how it works. Secondary tariffs. You're welcome. Economics 101. But here's the plot twist nobody, especially the Western legacy media, is talking about. This strategy might be America's biggest own goal yet, and that's saying something. They've had a lot of economic own goals, one could argue. A lot of economists do argue. Obviously, the Trump administration thinks otherwise. We'll see, we'll see. Because why is it an own goal potentially? Because of overuse of tariffs as a threat. I call it, personally, tariflation. Think about it. You're essentially telling countries, stop trading with Russia or we'll tariff you. But the threat you're making comes after you already tariff them. So we'll tariff you more? This American strategy is dubious, to say the least. How many nations can you realistically tariff before the whole system breaks down and your threat becomes an empty one? Tariflation, right? Dilution of the tariff threat factor, like how inflation dilutes the value of currency. How watered down can American threats get? Well, we're about to find out. And the world economy is likely to suffer in Trump's experiment. Now, I know many of you, don't want to be living through history. It's not a thing that's looked at as a win, to be living through history that people are going to read about later. Oh, here's the 2025 Great Flipping Depression, right? But look on the bright side. At least it's not the Black Death or the bubonic plague. Though, of course, if war with China breaks out and things go nuclear, then it's arguably worse than that. Anyway, look on the bright side. Again, look on the bright side. If the world economy collapses, you might not have to worry about paying rent because you have no money. So you don't have the option at all. And actually, your landlord doesn't have money either. And no one has bread even to eat. Anyway, back to the news. Who would be most affected by Trump's tariffs? Let's break it down. Who buys Russian oil right now? Well, China and India buy 48 and 40% of Russian crude oil. Brazil about 12%. These numbers from CREA, the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. India has found, for example, good use of Russian oil for domestic purposes in their country and for resale, because India is traditionally a connector economy. Now, is America really going to tariff the world's two most populous countries at the same time, China and India? Bravo, are you sure? Trump's like, yeah, we're sure. They already do, actually. My next video is about India specifically. But Trump is threatening more tariffs, right? Not just, if you've got tariffs, no problem. I can up the number. I can count to 100. Sort of. A bigger percentage, basically, of tariffs. But here's the critical piece of information you might not find being stressed in legacy media. I personally couldn't find it through my research being mentioned anywhere near as often as it should be. Every time America uses tariffs as a weapon, it pushes these nations closer to China and towards focusing on global South development and cooperation, and European even cooperation, decoupling primarily from the United States, which is seen more and more as an unstable and unreliable economic partner. Now, China is already America's biggest rival. And now you're literally shoving countries into the open arms of the titan of Asia. And India was traditionally neutral, like I said, is a connector economy between the East and the West. It was so positioning itself as close enough to the West to be seen as an ally, is militarily in Quad. It's sort of shaky on BRICS, and loads of people are saying the I in BRICS should be Indonesia, not India, but it's still India at the moment. It was trying to play that dancing game, but then Trump went, tash, smacked him in the face like an abusive parent with 50% extra tariffs. And then now they're facing 50% extra tariffs because of Indian purchase of Russian oil. That's pushing a key partner of America straight into Beijing's arms. The irony is staggering. In trying to isolate Russia, many analysts are saying, maybe even me, they're saying America is factually, successfully isolating itself. Because when you threaten everyone, eventually everyone will decide that you're the nutter, not the people you're threatening, and they try to just steer clear of you. All of them together try to steer clear of you and find alternatives. Now, alternatives, you say, Muffles. I wonder what country could become an alternative giant economy to work with, to import into instead of America. Maybe an economy that's huge and has a giant working and middle class that's slowly getting richer and richer. Do we know of an economy like that? Oh, I wish I had a mic. No western spin, 三注定是三餐 for the unbiased news and analysis. I'm Mahfouz, and I'll see you on the next one. 我们是心中的情一场. Ah, not bad as a first take.